Now, this is a pretty interesting topic. When we're talking about how to sell your home quickly, I have found in real estate practice that sellers say, hey, you know what, Andrew, I want to sell my home fast, but I don't want to give my house away. What can I do to get the best price possible? Or, hey, Andrew, I'm not in that big of a hurry to sell my house, but here's the thing, and this is where reality sets in, and it takes very little time to do it in observation, right? And observation is some of those people that say, hey, Andrew, I can be patient, give them 10 days, and they start chomping at the bit if they're not in contract or they're not getting enough showings. So let's talk about the things that you can do today to help your home sell with 11 easy ways to help your house sell fast. My name is Andrew Finney, and my passion is helping you make sense of real estate. If you need help finding a top agent near you, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. All right, my friend, it's very important to gain clarity on this. When we're talking about 11 easy ways to sell your home fast, that's one thing. But it's important to understand why this is important. Why do you really want to sell your home so quick? It's because it's one of the ways that as a trusted real estate advisor, we help to maximize your profit by minimizing your pain. In fact, in real estate practice here in Las Vegas, Nevada, I often share with the clients I represent as sellers, what we want to do here is do everything right out of the gate. We only get one shot for a first impression. It might sometimes take 3 months or 12 months in advanced planning to get it done right, but when it happens, we can minimize the pain and maximize your profit. Let's talk about the best ways to do that. The first way is to get a storage unit. Now, you might be saying, Andrew, why the heck do I need to get a storage unit? It's because chances are, even if you've been in your house for only 2 or 3 years, you've accumulated a lot of stuff. A lot of that stuff does not need to be in your house when we're planning to go on the market. We need to declutter and depersonalize your house. The more stuff that we can get out, the more stuff we can put into storage, the better it's going to look from a staging perspective, and the quicker that we're going to be able to minimize that pain and maximize that profit. If you're planning on going on the market sometime in the next 1 to 3 months, please do yourself a favor and get a storage unit today. The second thing that you want to do is get your staging and photography on point. When we're talking about the staging and photography being on point, what we want to do is to get with your trusted real estate advisor in your area. Hopefully you did your screening, you Googled that agent, you checked their online ratings, their reviews, and past sales history to make sure that you got the right one for you. That being said, what we want to do in specific when it comes to staging, we want to take a look at everything that you have in your house. Maybe the couch is placed in such a way that it closes off the room and it's like a barricade. It's almost like you want to jump over the couch and you're like, this is so weird. It kind of makes you cringe. Well, maybe we just need to reposition the couch to open up the room to give you that open concept feel and that dynamic that's going to appeal to the majority of people out there. When we're talking about photography being on point, guess what? You probably noticed I make a lot of videos. I got this really awesome Sony a7S Mark II camera, but guess what? I am not a professional photographer. I make videos that help you make sense of real estate. At the same time, I do not take pictures of your house. Why is that? There is no comparison to the level of photography that a good professional photographer can take of your house compared to what I could do, no matter how advanced this beautiful camera is. That being said, when we're talking about being on point, what we want to ensure is that we always have professional listing photography of your home and your property and your community and area at large. All of this ties in well to giving a prospective buyer the overall concept of where this dream house being yours resides. It's currently yours, but it's going to be theirs. So let's get it right by understanding what we're realistically doing is playing Match.com. Just like when you met your significant other, you only got one first impression. Either it was a good one or it's a bad one. Well, being they're your significant other, clearly you guys got over it even if it was a bit awkward up front, right? And moved forward together. That being said, whenever it's your home and we're asking somebody to spend hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on it, we got to get it right from day one. So let's make sure we plan this out together. Let's make sure that we get your staging and photography on point by working together. The third thing that you want to do is a shocker. You want to find the right trusted real estate advisor for you. I cannot say this enough. You want to Google an agent. You want to go on to Google and literally type in, I'll give you a search phrase here, Andrew Finney Realtor. You want to do the same thing with the agent that you're considering working with. What are you looking for in specific when you do that? You're looking for that agent's ratings, reviews, and past sales performance. You want to see what families are talking about that agent like you. You want to know what the real interpretation is. If they have videos like this, freaking awesome and amazing because you can see what they're like in person, and it goes so much further beyond because you can see what their level of commitment is to their profession. And if they have that level of commitment to the profession, what kind of commitment do you think they're going to have to you when it comes time to sell your home? Investigate the agents, please. To be completely honest with you, I've had a lot of wonderful people reach out to me, try to pair them up with top real estate advisors near them that help them out. Some of them have worked out. In fact, most of them have worked out really, really well. At the same time, there have been the ones that haven't worked out. And I'm just sitting there scratching my head thinking, how the heck does this happen? Why does this happen? And what can we do to improve this? Because the reason we have a real estate industry is because of you. The reason we have a real estate industry is to take care of you. The reason that we have trusted real estate advisors is to help educate you to make a well-informed decision that's right for you. It's never about the commission to a trusted real estate advisor. It's all about you. And by focusing on what's important to you, we can get this done right for you. That being said, please Google your agent. The fourth thing that you can do is to promote your listing yourself. Now, when we're talking about that, obviously your trusted real estate advisor is going to be out there marketing it across the internet, probably across social media. They might make a video of it. There's so many different ways that they're going to put it into the marketing, from maybe broker open houses to open houses, if that's a thing in your area. For reference, open houses don't work everywhere. In some places they absolutely do. But what is an interesting notion is a broker open, if that's something that works in your area. Talk it over with your trusted real estate advisor to see if that's a right situation for you where you live. Okay, so backing it up to promoting it yourself. How are we going to do that? The way that we're going to do that, number one, is to let your friends, your family, your coworkers know that your home is on the market. What does that do? It exposes your house, and that the fact that you're selling it to all of their social networks, all of the people that they know that might be looking for a home like yours. In addition, and in concert with your trusted real estate advisor, exposing it to the masses, courtesy of the multiple listing service, courtesy of big aggregate data sites that collect this information about real estate listings and publish it out to be searched, courtesy of maybe any blog post, video post, social media post that they make about your home, courtesy of the phone calls that agent is likely making into your neighborhood and around the area to help you find a buyer, courtesy of them reviewing the buyers that they have that reach out to them. There's so many different things that are going on here. At the same time, promoting it yourself to your friends and family is the first step that should be done. The fifth thing you want to do is depersonalize. Remember that we led this conversation off with getting a storage unit. That's how important this is. Now, to better understand what is depersonalization, that means if you have any family photos that are up on the wall right now or out and about, we want to go ahead and collect them, put them into a safe storage spot, put them inside your storage unit so that they're ready to go for the next move. We don't want a buyer walking into your house and seeing you, your beautiful, loving family with all the happy memories that you've made all over the wall, enjoying a good time in your house. What we want them to do is to see the house for its features, its amenities, and its benefits, also known as FAB, the way that I refer to that. Everything is an acronym, right? FAB. So features, amenities, and benefits of your house. Best way to do that is to depersonalize and take you out of the house so they can see them and their family in the house that will become their home. That is the idea, isn't it? The idea is that we want to minimize that pain and maximize that profit. So take you out of the house by depersonalizing and going around and looking at all those things that are hyper personal to you, even if it's like hyper personal art. It might be something highly unique but doesn't appeal to the majority of people. Take it down, please, and go ahead and store it away so that it's ready to go when you do sell your house. We want to see that buyer come into your house so enchanted, so enthralled. They're like, hey, I gotta have this home. Please, 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 pretty please, with ice cream and cherries on top, accept my offer. We want to see that happen for you, and in doing so, we'll minimize the pain, maximizing the profit, by taking you out of the house. The sixth thing that you can do is to make small upgrades to your home. Notice the word small. I'm not talking about doing a major full-on kitchen remodel or a major full-on bathroom remodel to your house. When you get ready to go on the market, it's those small upgrades that we need to be mindful of. And when we're talking about small upgrades, it could be nothing more than repainting the house to give it a fresh coat, to give it a fresh look, to neutralize the color palette, right? These are the things that fall underneath the small upgrade category. It's those small improvements that don't cost a lot of money that we want to be focusing on. When it comes time to sell your home, going back to what we said a moment ago, we want to minimize the pain and maximize the profit. If popping off $30,000 on a major bathroom remodel is going to net you $20,000 in the next 3 months when you sell this property, was it worth it? No, you're upside down $10,000. Now, if you were doing a $30,000 bathroom remodel and you weren't selling your home for maybe 3 to 5 years, would you get your bang for the buck? More than likely. So that being said, you got to be clear on the strategy of listing your home. Sometimes people are like, hey Andrew, you know, I can go ahead and pop off $10,000 on the house to do this. Do you think it's worth it? I said, always tell them the same thing. Let me check. So whenever I say, let me check, I'm reviewing the comparables to like and kind homes that have those improvements to those homes that don't have have those improvements and seeing what they sell for. Oftentimes, the price difference might be $7,500 for that $10,000 investment for homes that are selling at that time in that market that had those improvements, but it might cost $10,000 to do that improvement. Was it worth it? No, you would take a hit of 25%. You would actually lose on that investment. So why would we want to do it? Focus the time, focus the money on the small upgrades, and the best way to know how to put your home in its best light possible, talk it over with your trusted real estate advisor. The seventh thing that you can do is light it up, baby. And when I'm talking about light it up, baby, I mean literally illuminate your space. Too often when we are going in and looking at our houses, it does not show well if it's dark. So whenever you know you're gonna have showing appointments, one thing that we wanna do, obviously, before you even go on the market is make sure all your light bulbs are new. Make sure that if you needed any white light or you needed any bright natural light, that you went ahead and upgraded your bulbs accordingly. But you also want to open up the blinds to let as much natural light in. We want your home to show magnificently in natural light. We want people to be able to see what's in that corner over there, as opposed to thinking, is there a creepy crawly over there, or is the boogeyman hiding somewhere around that couch? We want them to be able to see. I can't count the amount of times I have been with a buyer that walked into a house that the seller did not ensure that the lights were on. So whenever they didn't turn on the lights when we walked in, is one of those situations like, okay, I'm new to your house as a real estate advisor. I'm trying to flip the switches and find the lights, because let's face it, you might be thinking, well, Andrew, shouldn't a buyer agent be there before the client? In an ideal situation, absolutely they should be there before the client. They make sure everything is illuminated correctly. They make sure the home is looking the right way so the clients can focus and find out if that's the right house for them, absolutely. But what happens in most cases as a buyer agent that's out showing homes, they may be showing 3 to 5 homes. Can they get there before every single showing to do that? No, not when the buyer's right behind them. So what is it incumbent upon a seller and a listing agent to ensure? To ensure that you know the showing conditions that your house need to be in to light up the space, to illuminate your house. Have it smelling right, have it looking right, and light it up, baby. The 8th thing you can do is to amp up your curb appeal. Curb appeal is everything. It's what first catches our eye driving up to a new home. Chances are it caught your eye when you bought it too, right? So we want to make sure that we amp it up. One of the things that we can do to amp it up is to clean it up. When we're talking about cleaning it up, what are we talking about? Make sure that nothing is touching the roof line of the house. Make sure nothing is touching the siding of the house. Make sure that all the bushes are clean and free of debris, that the yard is nice and clean, that it's been blown, it's been cut, it's been weed whacked, whatever the situation may be appropriate for your house. Make sure it's done. If you have some dead flowers out there and it's the spring or going into the summer, what should we do? We should take a trip over to the nursery, find some beautiful flowers. You can probably find plenty of them on discount at that time of the year too, and you go ahead and put them into the ground. Make it look good, spruce it up. We want that buyer to walk up to your house or drive up to your house and be like, oh my goodness, this house, if it looks this good on the outside, I wonder how beautiful it is on the inside. And the next thing you know, they're chomping at the bit. They're calling their buyer agent like, hey, Andrew, I gotta get into this house. Could you please see if it's still available? Could you please see if we can get in to see this house today? I think this is the one. Buy nothing more than amping up your curb appeal and having everything ready to go. So make sure that you amp up your curb appeal today. The 9th thing that we want to do is to ensure you don't forget the facts and that you provide open and honest disclosure to your buyers. This is through whatever seller disclosure forms may be unique to your area, but most commonly is referred to as a seller real property disclosure. We want to make sure that you're open and honest, because it will come out during the home inspection or other home inspections that a buyer may choose to have. And even if it doesn't come out, this could present a problem for you in the future. So make sure that you're giving open and honest disclosure up front. Okay, look, let's be real here. We are all people. We all deserve respect. We all deserve honesty, right? So when we're thinking about other people, what are one of the things that we can do? Let's consider how we respond to good news. We respond extremely favorable to good news. Let's consider how we respond to bad news. When we're thinking about that, we're like, that's lousy. I wish that didn't happen, or I wish it was different. But you know what? I'm glad I know about it, so I know how to pivot and make a right decision that's for me, or hey, how to pivot and work through it because we knew about it. But how do you do with no news? You do absolutely awful. You feel like you've been lied to. You feel like you've been taken advantage of. That's how people feel. So if we know this up front, moving into your seller's disclosures, shouldn't we be open, honest, and transparent? The answer is yes. Not only ethically, but also legally, you want to be open and honest in as much that you know about that property. So please make the appropriate disclosures. Please make sure that everything is done right. Okay, so that's about when we're talking about seller disclosures. But the other thing, the other fact to make sure that you're completely real about and to have the conversation with your trusted real estate advisor is what makes the market tick. TIC. That's an acronym. Trends, indicators, and conditions. We want to know what the trends, indicators, and conditions are of the market at the time that you're planning on going on the market. Don't ignore these facts. Don't ignore the trends in the market. Let's say that all the homes are starting to gradually go up in price. That's a trend, that's a good trend, right? But what happens when the opposite is true and you have the trend line starting to go down? Then where should you price your home? If you're going to price it right, you need to try to get ahead of that downtrend and actually price it a little bit less to be able to get your home sold as quickly as possible so we minimize the pain and maximize the profit. Now, if you're wondering, well, Andrew, I don't want to give my house away, so that doesn't even make sense. Let me explain something and share with you why it does. What happens if a home is on the market and it's a little bit under fair market value? More than likely, almost in any market condition, what's going to happen is you're going to get multiple showings at multiple hours of the day and potentially multiple offers on your property. If you receive multiple offers on your property, what happens next? Well, then we have this little counter offer phase, sellers multiple counter offers, something going on. And what are we looking for? We're looking for the buyer that's going to offer you the best price, best terms for you, according to what you say those terms and what that price looks like in relation to the other offers, right? So when that happens, did that price go up? If you had multiple offers on the table, more than likely. So it's important to be real about that. You can't really go wrong by pricing it slightly under the market, but you can always go wrong by overpricing for the market, and then you have to chase it back. In real estate practice, to be completely frank with you, I have seen people price their homes here, not with me, but I've seen them price their homes here whenever it should have been here. And what happened is they had to go low. And then when they got to that point, at that bedrock, and they really decided, hey, you know what, this sucks. I've been on the market for like 5 months and I really don't like this. They had to go under that spot. So what did they do? They maximized the pain and they minimized their profit. Completely opposite of how we led in this conversation about with minimizing the pain and maximizing the profit. But it's so true. By minimizing the pain, by minimizing the time on market, will maximize your profit. At the same time, if you maximize your days on the market, you will minimize your profit. Important to understand, important to think about. Something to think about and something to consider. The 10th thing that is an extremely prudent practice is to get a home pre-listing inspection and make the repairs. When you get the home pre-listing inspection, then we're already cutting off at the pass any type of repair negotiations or any potential issues that could arise from the buyer's due diligence point of view when they get their home inspection. By getting a home pre-listing inspection, it exposes us and makes transparent what's going on in the house to us. By making those repairs, and please save the invoices, please save the receipts and the work that was done to the house, you combine all that information with that home inspection report, and now your listing agent can provide it to the buyer agent when they make that offer on the house. Say, hey, guess what? We already did a home pre-listing inspection. We've already made the repairs. Everything's good to go. Here you go. Of course, your buyer reserves the right to perform another one if they so desire. Same time, here you go. Now, a lot of buyers are probably like, oh my God, that was so honest and so transparent. The seller, this is amazing. I feel so good about this. And now they feel so good about their closing process. They stay committed. They know that you've been open. They know that you've been transparent. And guess who else is feeling good this whole time? You are. Because you know you did the right thing, and it feels good for all of us to do the right thing all the time, doesn't it? So let's make sure that we do the right thing by having your home pre-listing inspection and making those repairs and exposing it for transparency purposes, and you'll find yourself with the buyers that are extremely happy with you and the property moving forward. And the 11th thing that you want to do is to plan your listing strategy ahead with your trusted real estate advisor anywhere between 3 and 12 months into the future. So if you know that you're going to get ready to go on the market in, let's say, 3 months or maybe even 3 to 5 months, go ahead and pick up the phone. Go ahead and find your trusted real estate advisor that's right for you and begin that conversation now. Because the reality is that if we do our job correctly leading up to that first day on market, then you're going to have a shortened time on the market, and we're going to minimize that pain. We're going to maximize your profit, and you're going to be an extremely happy home seller moving forward onto your next destination. Let's get this right for you. Okay, my friends, so now that you know 11 easy ways how to get your home sold, let's have a realistic conversation about the 21 hard facts you should know when it comes time to sell a house and how to stage your home on a budget. Looking forward to our next conversation. We'll see you in a few.